We cut to a frozen mountain peak. The moon's ethereal glow covers it. We see someone wiping blood from their sword, saying, "You can't fool experience." They say the winter air is cold, and they can feel it in their bones. They hear a noise. They turn around, looking at some trees. The strange man says, "It's plausible, but you're either stupid or being stupid on purpose." We cut to the man walking through the clearing. The strange man says, "I don't know who you are, but come out now towards a specific tree." "I'm here now," the man says to the person behind the tree. There is a brief silence. We then hear a hesitant voice, "Sir Stanga," coming from behind the tree. The man confirmed that he was Stanga. He then says, "So you're the one called Vlad." He continues, "I heard the guide was from the slums." We then see Vlad stepping out from behind the tree. His blazing blue eyes stand out more than ever. He then describes Vlad saying, "People would think that he is a noble's child." Vlad hands the man a letter saying, "This is the letter from my boss." He then says that the opposing organization hired a mercenary who used to be a knight. "So that's why he needed my help," the man says. Vlad then says he will guide the man, saying they will arrive by night in 2 days. The man looks at Vlad's back silently for a moment. He then chuckles a little, saying, "I'm not sure if I should follow someone so stupid." Vlad says, "I'm at least capable of guiding you, you know." The man then responds, "I don't think so." The man replies, "There's no way you're smart when you're doing something so stupid." The man and Vlad looked at each other for a moment. "If you say this isn't the way along the way, I'm going to kill you," the man warns Vlad. The man's gaze tensed clearly, attempting to intimidate. Vlad gave the man a slight glance, not attaching any importance to his threat. Vlad then replies, "Just make sure you keep up." Vlad says he does not want to screw his first mission up. The man thought to himself, "What the hell?" He deliberately made himself appear menacing, but Vlad completely ignored it. The man smirks. The man says so, that's why Jorge likes him. We then see the man following Vlad, thinking to himself, "Vlad is a child worthy of being nurtured." We cut to a scene of the starry sky. The moon's glow radiates over the terrain. We then see Vlad and the man sitting in a cave, surrounded by the flickering flames of a campfire. Vlad looks up towards the man. The man noticed and looked back at Vlad. The man says, "Why do you keep looking at me? Is it your first time seeing a retired knight?" Vlad replies, "Yes." The man replies, "Are you a country bumpkin or something?" Vlad the man, "Where do you come from?" The man sat for a moment before answering, "Dikia, whoa, that place is so freaking country." The man replies, "You better not lose your way." He warns, "I'm going to slice you in half if you do," he says, holding his sword aloft. Vlad replied, "Don't say such scary things. I heard that jokes made by knights were threats." The man changes the subject, saying, "Oh, that beef jerky looks fresh. Do you have my share as well?" Vlad replied, "Jorge didn't pack me anymore." He then asks the man, "Do you not have anything to eat?" The man replies, holding up scraps of food that are clearly not enough. The man thinks to himself, "Fuck, it smells so good," speaking about the meat Vlad is cooking. He then clears his throat, asking if Vlad had anything to ask him. Vlad replies, "What's this all of a sudden?" The man then replies, "I'll answer one question for one jerk," saying, "It's not an opportunity that comes often." Vlad sits, munching on his jerky for a moment. Vlad then says, "How many do you want? If you want some, just ask." The man then replies, "You brat, I have some pride." The man continues to receive gifts when he gives something in return. We then see the man sitting resolutely with his words. Vlad then says, "But what's the point of having pride when you're retired?" The man then says, "I've gone by the belief until today." Vlad then asks his name. The man replies, "Stanga Vlad," and asks for his name. The man replies, 42, before saying, "I am a brat." Vlad asks the man, "Do you perhaps know how to use aura?" The man says that looking at you now, you're only innocent on the outside. Not all knights are able to wield aura. The man replies. The man then says, "And using aura in a fight is a whole other thing altogether." Vlad then impatiently asked, "Can you use it or not?" The mantis hen replied, "Well." Vlad looks in surprise, thinking that he might be able to see an aura if he plays his cards right. Vlad then looks at the man saying, "Take it all." The man glances at Vlad. Vlad glances back at him with a serious expression. The man says that a knight should only receive things he has given back. He says, grasping his sword. The man stands, taking out his blade, stating that there are times when he does whatever he wants, but he's only been eating old jerky for the past few days. Vlad's eyes widened and he thought to himself, really? I can really see it. The man stands holding his sword out in front of him. He then closes one of his eyes to focus. Vlad asked curiously, "Why are you closing your left eye?" He replies, "To focus, I need to bring forth my world from deep within my soul." The man tells Vlad to watch closely. His eyes are glowing. This is the essence of knighthood: honor, valor, and sacrifice. The man opens his eyes wide, releasing his aura. Vlad brings his arm up, shielding himself from the shockwave. A surge of energy emanates from the man's sword. We cut to them sneaking into the kingdom at night. The man says, "Ugh, I feel frost like a hobo." Vlad says, "It's good if there's a little dirt. It's better to look like a hobo than a knight." The man then replies, "I'm not talking about how I look," he says. "I'm talking about my mood. I have my pride as a knight. Why do I need to go through this hole?" Vlad replied, "I was told to escort you here in secret, so we can't go through the main gate." The man sits in silence. "Let's get going for now." Vlad says, "When we arrive, I'll prepare a bath for you." We then see them both walking through an alley. It's unusually quiet. The man says, "It's quiet that's bothering me." Vlad replies, "It's just this time of night." They both stopped, looking up in surprise. The man asks, "Is this place usually like this?" Vlad's expression shows a look of fear and worry. As he replies, "No." The man says, "It looks like they've already fought." We then see a scene of complete disarray. Vlad says, "Let's split up." He tells the man about a secret backdoor that only organization members know about. The man asks, "Where will you go?" Vlad says, "I'll go through the main gate. Now it's better to split up their attention," he says. He'll see the man later, running off. Vlad arrives at the shop, out of breath. He enters the shop to a scene of complete disarray. Someone off-screen says, "You've made it in safely, good job. We can assume this is Jorge." Jorge says that the money leech attacked us first. We can see Jorge setting himself up as Madame Marcella tends to his wounds. And Jorge says, as one would expect from those who handle money, they're on a whole different level. Vlad asks, "Are you okay?" Jorge says, "It's been a while since I've gone up against someone on the level of a knight, so he ended up injured." We then see a scene of Vlad and Jorge talking in the background. As a dead body sits slumped against the wall, Jorge says, "More importantly, did you bring him?" His expression looks serious. Vlad replied, "Yes, the main gate was being watched, so I told him where the back door was." Vlad says that he should have arrived by now. Jorge says that they are going to attack the money leech tomorrow, and that they're going to end things this time. But for now, Jorge changes the subject, asking, "How is he anyway?" "He's fine, right?" Vlad replies, "Yeah, he's fine." He continues, saying he seems like a good person too. Jorge replies, saying that Stanga has a hardy side to him. Vlad replies that he's quite nimble as well. Jorge asked curiously if he lost weight before saying, "Well, to live a long life, you need to look after yourself." Vlad replied, "Yes, he was also a knight who could use an aura." Vlad then says, "I'm sure tomorrow will be our day." Jorge's expression turns firm, and he says, "What?" Vlad looks back, saying, "Ah, it looks like he's here now." Jorge asked hurriedly, "Vlad, did he really use aura?" Vlad replied, "Yes, I saw it." Jorge says, "Get behind me," in a firm tone. Jorge says grimly that Stanga does not know how to use aura. Vlad started to speak, but his words trailed off into silence. "What do you?" Just as someone entered the room, the same man Vlad had traveled with enters now, bloodied and battered. The man says, "You've come to a pretty far place." He says, "Long time, no see, Jorge," his purple eyes flashing with an evil grin.